What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kiwine, and I am back with Ready to Love Season 10, Episode 4, Polly Pool Party. Um, y'all, I'm so sorry. Before I start, guys, can you please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel? Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on the videos that I drop. And also, can y'all please like my videos? Please, so I can stay in the algorithm of things. I just want to grow my channel, so that happens, and as you guys continuously like up the videos, that would be amazing. So the episode starts with all the men heading to the vault with Tommy. And basically, Tommy's number one rule is what happens in the vault stays in the vault. That means shut your damn mouth. Don't go tell Tim what Susie said. And don't go tell Susie what Tim has said. Okay? Shut your damn mouth. Okay? Anyway, so this week the men have to take the ladies on the date, and they have to take them somewhere that means the most to them. So Cisco says in his confessional that he feels like he have to be more open. Now, I'm not sure if anybody said that he needed to be more open, but that's what he said in his confessional. I don't know. So we see Naeem. Naeem invites Deanna, True, Sahara, Khalil, Fritz to the gym. You know, he owns the gym. Naeem feels like, all African Americans really need to be in the gym, and that's because we have a leading this is not him. This is just me saying we have a leading cause of BP and diabetes, and our diet sometimes can be very poor. So I agree. With that being said, I will be back in the gym on Monday because I need to be in the gym on Monday. Anyway, not about me. So we see True. True was invited, but she hasn't arrived yet. So he was like, I don't see True. She's not here yet. Yada, yada, yada. And so there's that. So we get to Cam. Cam has invited Rocky and Tay, Hussein over to his house, and they play a game called Let's Get Personal. Now, I really thought this game was going to be off the wall, but actually it ended up being a good game, so I wasn't mad at that. So they asked Hussein, he pulled the a piece of paper, and the paper asked, where does he like to be kissed? So he said he likes to be kissed on his neck and around his nether regions. And I just kind of feel like he wanted to say he wanted to be kissed on his nether regions, but he decided to keep it cute and mute. So that's fine. So over at the gym, Deanna and Khalil talk. She feels like she can see them getting to know each other better. To be honest with y'all, I'm sorry, y'all. My cough. To be honest with y'all, I do feel like I actually like their connection. I really do. Y'all, this angle is really throwing me off right now. Anyway, Tay pulls back at over at Cam's house. Tay pulls her card or whatever, her question. And her question is, what is a defining moment? And she says when she graduated. And so Hussein says in his confessional that he is really smitten and taken aback by Tay. He really likes her. He didn't say all that, but I'm just kind of paraphrasing. So then we get to Rocky. She talks about her defining moment. She said that she lost her job, unfortunately. Things was just pretty rocky. For her. And because of that, she started to sell drugs. And as she's doing that, in the midst of everything, she realizes that this lifestyle isn't for her. So that's what makes her moment that's what makes her moment defining. So then we get to Cam. Cam said his life defining moment is his mental health. He said that he was struggling financially. He was actually on food stamps. And he said just basically life just wasn't going the way that he had mapped out, or he wanted it to be at the time. And because of all of that, coupled with the mental health and, government assistance or whatever, not just barely getting by, he said that he didn't want to be here on this earth anymore. Basically, he didn't want to be on this earth anymore. So what made his decision to change is he has a niece. And so he kept looking at his niece. And he made a decision. This is where his defining moment came, when he made the decision to be better. Cam also mentions that it is not easy to let people in, but he is trying. And I'm going to say that I 100% agree with Cam. Y'all remember when we first saw Cam in episode 2, I want to say, he was really, he was just like, I'm just trying to be happy. It was just like, what's the real problem? He just didn't let anybody in. So, Naeem, we see Tay arrive. And she sits outside with Naeem. Not Tay, True. True arrived, and she sat outside with Naeem. She tells Naeem she was working. So Naeem feels away because True didn't show up at the initial time. And so she was like, you're going to have to get past that. You're going to have to let that go because I was at work. And she said something to him. She was like, do you not understand that? And I was like, whoa, it's such a tone. But we also don't know how production is, making everything look. So anyway, she then says to him, I have not heard from you. And he tells her, you gave me a Google Doc number. And I was like, And so she said she didn't give him a fake number. And she said that he has never reached out. And the day he called, she sent him question marks responding to the call. Instead of picking up the call, she sent them a question mark text. And so I was like, well, did you send the question mark text because you're like, hey, what happened? Or did you delete his number and you didn't recognize the number? And so that's why you sent the question mark text. But I'm willing to believe that she sent the question mark text because he has not reached out to her. And now you're reaching out to me, all of a sudden reaching out to me to hang out. And we hadn't, had that chance to have a conversation. So I don't know. I'm just here to ask the questions. So Naeem said he didn't know that. She said that you read the message, but you never respond. And so Naeem said he didn't know how to respond to a question mark. He said, is that your way of communicating? And so True tells Naeem that she has several phones and that he has never contacted her. And she says whether this was a fake number or not, it doesn't matter because you never contacted me. So he said that he did. And she tells him, you're using an excuse is really corny. And so he just kind of looked at her like, what? I guess he was taken aback. So True answer, her phone actually rings, which is so odd. And she looks at the phone. And so Naeem asks her, is that a fake phone? Is that your fake or your real phone? And she just didn't even argue. She just kind of got up and left and went inside. So we go back in the gym. Fritz is talking with Sahara because she says that he texts her like, "Hey, friend." So she felt like she's been friend zoned. He said, "Well," she tells him about it. So he was like, "At least I'm consistent." So Fritz says that Sahara's energy is excessive, loud, aggressive, and I didn't like that. I feel like Sahara is very direct. And I think a lot of people take that as aggression, and it's not. I think that Sahara does have a wall up. And that's because, as most people do when they've been hurt time after time, I don't know how to people put a wall up and I'm just going to act a certain way. But she's not mean. She seems like such a nice lady. But she just has an exterior about her. But that's just, to me, it feels like it just comes from past hurt and pain. But I will say this, the same way he texts Sahara is probably not the same way he would text somebody like Tate. So I do feel like ultimately he's really not interested in Sahara. Um, I just don't think he's interested in Sahara. And rather you say that, you say things like these buzzwords like excessive and loud and aggressive. And I just really don't like that. I don't like that. Just because you don't know who she is and you haven't scratched the surface of who she is, that doesn't make her all of those things. So Sahara felt like, if you're going to text me like, hey, sweetie, just a little softer, tap into your softer side. But to me, it just feels like, once again, he's not interested. And it just seemed to be the running theme with these men that they're not interested, they're not texting, they're not some of them don't communicate. So anyway, True and Khalil talk. They both agree that they have a struggle with dating multiple people at one time. So True tells him that she wants kids. And so he was like, how many? And so she was like, however many the man wants. And I just feel like, ladies, that is a detriment to that's a detriment to you and your body. It's however many you should want, not that other person, because they don't have to carry, you do. They don't have to get needles in their back, you do. They don't have to have the excessive weight gain, morning sickness, all of the trauma that comes with being pregnant. They don't have to worry about being high risk, low risk, not sure. They don't have to worry about taking off, maternity leave and all of that, and taking prenatal. They don't have to worry about that. You do. And every time you get pregnant, as you get older, you put your body through more trauma the older you get if you want to get pregnant. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. I am not sorry. Anyway, I just need women to stop doing that. You should be the reason why you want to have a kid. If you are married to somebody and y'all agree and plan to have a kid, that's fine. But that other person needs to know the traumatic experience your body go through while carrying a baby. That doesn't happen for everybody, but a lot of women it happens to. So Khalil asked how old was True, and she said she's a grown woman. And so he felt like that was an easy question to answer, and that they're in a process of getting to know each other. So you should just be able to tell me your age. And she didn't want to, because she didn't want to discuss her age. He felt like that was a red flag. And I'm going to say this. Some women don't want to discuss their age for their reasons. But we are on a show where your age has already been shown. So I really don't understand. I did not understand the pushback about it, the secrecy of it, because it's already displayed on the show. Whenever somebody is in their confessional or something, they'll show the name, what they do, and their age. And it's not a red flag. I just don't want to tell you. I'll tell you when I tell you. It is what it is. It shouldn't be a big deal, but I guess everything looks like red flags now. Anyway, so Cam and Rose, they go out on a date. Now remember, Cam and Rose had a conversation and she felt like he basically was a little bit too rigid. He, just had up a wall. That's what I wanted to say. He had up a wall. So he asked, what qualities does she need in a partner? And she said stability, communication. She said she don't believe in giving up on a marriage, nor do she believe in happily ever after. I am going to say this. First of all, let me say this. Cam has completely did a 180. Like, I think he took into consideration what the women had been saying about him, and he really decided to make an effort to fix himself. So kudos to him. Now, as it relates to, I get that no one should give up on their marriage. But if you're in a loveless marriage, if you're in a marriage that's harmful, that is not serving you, the both of you, then, and you just, sometimes people grow apart I think that those things should be okay. And she says she believes in happily ever after. I don't think that things like that are real. I think that's the Disney of it all to make you feel like that there's a happily ever after. I don't know. I think people need to get out the world of fairy tale and operate in what's real and what's reality. So y'all, they decided that Cam ordered, what they called it? Oysters. And so he had raw oysters. And Rose was like, well, I don't like oysters because they look like vagina. I was like, ew. But I get it. So y'all, before they start to indulge in the vagina looking oysters of it all, they pray over it. I was like, okay. But ultimately, they really had a good time. And I think I liked their energy. I really did. I think I liked their energy. So Fritz is having a pool party / barbecue at his house. He invites Shanice, Coley, Kiara, Angie, Eddie, Naeem, and Francisco. So Coley and Eddie sits out and talk, and he actually wants to spend a lot of time with her. I think he actually likes her. And so Angie and Fritz was Angie asked Fritz, was this his forever home? And he said no. He said that he doesn't feel any love in his home. And so, I mean, I get it. It is what it is. So then Cisco is outside talking to Shanice. And he asks Shanice, what is it that she's looking for? She says laughter, loyalty, and a really good connection. And Cisco states how he is smitten. Basically, he's smitten by Shanice. And I was like, okay. And so Eddie is sitting with Angie. No, Angie brought, I want to say she brought like a pan of meat to him so he can grill. And so Eddie mentioned that Angie was displaying wifely qualities by supporting him while he's on the grill. I was like, okay, I guess. So Shanice and Fritz are standing at the pool. And so he hugs her. Y'all, that outfit that Miss Shanice had on was giving body, yaddy, and booty. Okay. She got a body. Okay. I was here for it. And so he grabs her, hugs her, and they fall in the pool. And at this point, a time is had. So everybody starts to get in the pool and everybody just have a good time. So after all of that, Fritz and Coley go and talk. And he asks her, where do they stand? And maybe they had off camera conversations. So I don't know. That's what it seemed like to me. So she said she saw him follow Poly Life on IG, and she was like, I'm interested in monogamy. So once she saw that, she just kind of backed away because she didn't know. Like, I don't know what you looking for. I'm looking for monogamy. You looking for a menage a seven. I ain't got it. So he was like, well, just because I'm interested in it doesn't mean that that's what I want. Well, if you're interested, there is a part of you that wants to venture in that lifestyle. I'm just saying. We don't go piquing our interest somewhere that a part of us don't want to be in. I'm just saying. We may not do it, but there is an interest. And if an opportunity presents itself, you will probably take that opportunity. Anyway, so everybody's in the kitchen. Kiara tells the story between her and her kid's dad and said that he's cheated. She went back to him and then he ended up going to jail. And so she felt like in that moment, God was like, well, you didn't leave him when you were supposed to, so I removed him from you. And so that's how she was able to walk away from that relationship, she said, because she kept going back. And so she said that he's getting out soon, but he's been in jail for about 6 years now. She said that they do respect, her and the kid's father respect each other, and that she's allowing love to find her, and that, their whole thing is co-parenting, and that's it. But it was something about that made it feel like she still had a soft spot for her kid's dad. So I wouldn't be, I just kind of think that, yeah, if given an opportunity, she'll give him another opportunity. Anyway, but she says she's over it. So if she's over it, then that's what it is. So Eddie and Angie talk, and, he says that she gives real partnership vibes. And y'all, so in his confessional, he said, shout out to you. I see you, baby. I was like, this is not a football, basketball interview. This is not you getting an award at a rap award show. Okay, sir? That was funny. Anyway, in the next scene, Coley and Jay go out to putt-putt golf. He said Coley normally is not his type of woman. He says that Coley seems more, up. Did he say uppity? He said I think he said sophisticated. He used those type of words. Okay. And so she says that she likes that he's a single dad, and that she says that did she say, Coley said love is action? I don't know what I wrote. But they actually enjoyed each other's company, and he actually asked her for another date. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, but he did ask her to go out on another date. So, in the next scene, the men meet up in the vault with Tommy. And so, we get to the nitty gritty. Tommy asks who everybody likes. So, he asks Naeem. Naeem says Kiara. He said, cause child, he like a little hood. And I was like, I guess. And when he mentioned Kiara, it was the way Jay was looking. Like, I peeped Jay's facial expression as well as Cisco when it came to their tops. I'm like, this might be a problem. So anyway, Khalil, I don't know why I keep calling him Callie. Did I say Callie? I meant Khalil. Khalil says that, Deanna, he like her. Jay says Coley, since he has gotten to know Coley, but he said Kiara is still his top. So Hussein says Tay, and then Cisco had that look. And then Cisco says Tay. And then Cam says Rose. Fritz says Shanice. And Eddie, of course, Eddie says Angie, which I was surprised because Coley has always been his top. So Tommy asks, who are we not feeling? And Fritz says Kiara because of the baby daddy situation with him getting out of jail. And I was like, you really feeling yourself, Fritz. Like, I guess it is what it is. So Naeem, of course, is going to say true, and then he tells everybody that she gave him a Google Doc number, and I was like, okay. And Khalil also says true, and he also mentions that True, when he asked her her age, she never gave him that information. She didn't want to give him that information. And so Naeem pipes up and says, "So we just trying to find the truth with truth." And I was like, that is so corny. But whatever, I get it. So Cam says Deonna. And I just kind of feel like you kind of got it in for this lady. You still salty because that lady said what she said. She do not date men that she work with. Point blank and period. I just still feel like he feels away because he felt like she was being rude, and I just don't think she was. So Jay says Shanice. Khalil says Sahara. Fritz. This aggravated me because Fritz says Sahara, and he says that she needs to show more decorum because he wants a woman that he can basically bring around his family and his friends, yada yada yada. And I was like, you got some nerve. It's the judgment for me. I have noticed in the ladies' lounge. I mean, I'm so used to saying lounge. In the ladies' vault, these ladies, when they select, is not from a space of get back. It's like, I truly, because this person isn't showing me that's what they want, this is why I'm selecting this person. However, on the men's side, they come from a space of this person says something to hurt my feelings. They come from a emotional space, which is why they select the reason why they select the woman that they want to go home. It is so odd to me, but I guess it is what it is. So Cam meets up with Sahara. Khalil meets up with True. And so Cam tells Sahara that she is still ready to love, whereas Khalil I'm sorry, y'all. Khalil tells True that she's not ready to love. And at that point, she hadn't already got annoyed. And so he told her, prior to him telling her she's not ready to love, he tells her that, based on the situation with the Google Docs and her not telling her age, that's what made her not interested. So she was like, the only person telling you about the Google Docs is Naeem. And Khalil, I need you to know, this is why Tommy said what happens in the lounge stays in the lounge. You needed to word that a little differently and not even mention the Google Docs. So in her confessional, she was like, it's only one person that pretty much wants me gone. And I can understand whatever her frustration was, but however, I always feel like, if it's meant for you to be gone, your man ain't here, and that is okay. He's somewhere else. He's just not on this show putting on. So they talk about her age. Like, he tells her, I asked you your age, you didn't tell me. It just felt like fluff, and it felt like more excuses. And so she was like, well, I'm 35. And he was like, well, why didn't you say that? And it's like, why really do she have to say it? Like, it is what it is. You'll know it once you know it. But I just want to say, for me, this is just a little sidebar, y'all. I'm always happy to tell people my age. Like, if somebody comes to me, and even if they don't ask me, I'm always putting it out there. And so I'm like, yes, I'm 42. Okay, I know I didn't realize I was older than True, but I am 42. And so I'm always happy to tell people that little tidbit about me. Because I think what I like the most is what I get in return. And in return, I get, you do not look 42. Thank you, baby. It's the cocoa butter. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I say something crazy like that. But there are just some women out there who do not like telling their age, and they feel like it's rude to ask a woman their age. So I don't know. I don't think it's rude. It is what it is. So we find that True is not ready to love, and it's unfortunate. But hey, it is what it is. Anyway, y'all, I will drop Family of Fiance. I'm going to record that and then drop it. And please, on y'all way out, if you have not, please make sure y'all like up my videos. This will really be great. Let's just get these views up, likes up, and please share so people can subscribe to my channel. Thank you. And listen, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.